waiting here for trading accounts to load up. Oh man, slow as can be.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing.
Nice. Jeez. That's sucky. And that's how you make back your loss. Okay, be a little bit patient here. ES is holding its level while NQ is dropping a little bit. Probably return to the 625 level. But like I said, ES is kind of holding strong. Concerns me a little bit. You could try to play this weakness on ES, like if ES fades. Yes, all the way back up to opening almost. Interesting. Tech must be heavy this morning. Let's take that off for now. I liked that, but would have paid you a little bit more. Let's wait for ES to come break opening right here. This is 68.91. Once it breaks opening, let's see how it reacts. If it breaks and comes back below, we'll look for the sell-off on NQ. Testing. Did not break. Looks like we're going to break out to the downside here. Breaking above opening on ES. Returning below. I'm gonna put my stop there. Gonna stop me out, and I already know that, and that's okay. I'm okay getting stopped out here. What a lucky. I want to see this drop into the 50s, maybe high 40s. Beautiful. Take it all off. Very happy with that. Not happy with my entry whatsoever, but happy with the happy with the result. Like I said though, what did I say? Yes, right? I said we were gonna come up, test this, break above, and wait for the break below. What happened when we broke below? What was it? 3 minutes ago? 3 minutes ago, right? So very correlated. You would have had a better entry than I did and not had to sit through this and almost get stopped out by 1 point, right? And this is going to fade all the way to 630. So there you go. That was the trade today. I did not execute perfectly, but the plan was there. Kind of like this retest. Right there. Bottom of that candle. Stop is going to be above body of that candle. Gonna take 2. This should fade down to 630 now, right now. Yes, following. Careful for the bounce here. One more. I'm going to take them all off there. So why did I take that trade? We'd had some good bleed out here, right? Did a little bit of a retrace this candle completely, retrace the body of this candle completely, and tested the low of this candle's body, right? So just a good place for it to test. Other people will put their stops above the body of the previous candle, right? So grab liquidity and drop out again. It could have very well continued up, right? But that's why you have your stop. So, and you're okay with that stop. Anyway, that was good. What do you think? Do we think this? Do we think this can fade right now? I liked it up here. I don't like it where it's at now, just because half my profit's already gone. But there it goes. Boom. Beautiful. Man, wish I would have been in that. What a beautiful trade. I'm going to go ahead and get in this. I liked that for a second. You got to think about drawdown with these prop firms too. Unfortunately, if this reverses, you lose drawdown. Come on. I'm going to take it there, mainly due to the drawdown risk, guys, for the prop firm. What I'm talking about with drawdown is this. The most you can, it's a trailing drawdown. So as you make money, that moves up. So say it reverses here, $500, my drawdown would have been $2,000 instead of $2,500. Beautiful sell-off today. We've missed both big sell-offs. I wasn't even on here and then here. I had the idea, but I said I wanted it here. Could have entered here and figured we only had room to previous lows, but not previous lows, but there was a previous close here. Not a bad retest there if you want to enter short with a small stop. Probably get stopped, but maybe not. Come up here, grab liquidity, then go back down. Maybe go to 612. I hate my entry. Come on, baby. I don't really want to eat a stop here, to be honest. Already lost. Patience, patience. What did I say? Retest 612. Oh, we got 616. Good thing I got a. You think we go higher? I kind of do. On ES, that fulfilled that little gap there. Maybe that's all we were shooting for. Little 20-point winner. Get us right. I like that. I like that. Where we go from here, I don't know. To be honest, guys. Most likely sell off or more, right? That's kind of the trend. I would say the trend is your friend from this point forward. Oh, yeah. I'm going to share with you guys something. So I like this. This is yes, I think we go lower here. Should we put on a little trade? I don't really want to put on a trade, honestly. If I go below this 52,000, I know it'll trigger me to want to trade more. So I think we just chill. Okay, so this is from a spiritual text, but it applies perfectly to trading. And hear me out on this, okay? So um, it says growth happens gradually and patiently, but also consistently and unrelentingly. Um, I love that with trading. Trading on my journey has been very lots of patience has been needed. It's been very gradual, and at times when I haven't been as relentless or diligent, there's less progress, right? So with trading, it's perfectly said. Growth happens gradually and patiently, but also consistently and unrelentingly. Um, and then it goes on to say, and this is more of the spiritual part, but it goes on to say, remember, it is Jesus Christ who already did the superhuman part when he conquered death and sin. Our part is to follow him. It is our part to turn away from sin, turn towards the Savior, and walk in his way, one step at a time. As we do this diligently and faithfully, and eventually cast off the shackles of imperfections and faults, and slowly become refined until the perfect day when we will be perfected in him. The blessings are within reach, the promises are in place, the door is wide open. It is your choice to enter and begin. Um, I love this. I think it's very applicable, and I don't think, traders get a lot of flack, especially like traders that talk about God, get a lot of flack. Trading community historically, like go back to Wall Street, is a very uh, kind of like dirty, like as far as spirituality goes, like not the cleanest, most wholesome place, wholesome people to hang around. Pretty foul language and foul things going on. So um, that's carried on, I think, throughout like this era of influencers being traders. And it's important to remember that God's not gonna make your trade right. God's gonna help you see clearly. He's gonna help you learn. He's gonna help enhance your skills as you're diligent and unrelenting, right? But he's not going to make your trade go right. Um, that's not to say there's not going to be signs out there and stuff. I've had experiences, but um, just keep that in mind. It's up to you to do the gradual, patient, consistent, unrelenting work. And then, like it says at the very end, right? Promises are in place, the door is wide open. And I think that's for anybody with trading, whether they're a believer in Christ or not. Um, those promises are in place because you've done the work. But I do think that God will add strength and power to you as you allow Him to. So, and He'll uh, enhance your abilities. So, keep that in mind as you're trading. Be patient with yourself, be consistent, be diligent, um, and God's on your side. So, that last one that I remember I said, oh, take a little trade all the way down here. Little trade opposite direction. Wild. Almost 100 points, huh? Let's look. Let's see if there's a reason why it bounced right here, okay? So I always go back to the 1 hour first. Okay. Fairly substantial consolidation that we're bouncing off of, right? We didn't quite hit this grouping here, but we did definitely hit this grouping. Again, like aside from these that barely like these broke low below for a few hours, like I would say trend wise, like that's a fairly, understandable place for it to bounce. Now let's look at where we're at now, right? Now we've come up. Well, now we're retracing back down, but we had come up to all the way up to here. right? What did we see there? Again, bodies of candles, closing, wicks. So keep that in mind as you're watching. It's easy to see hindsight, right? But you can also see these things with foresight. So if I were to say throughout the day, right, like if we begin to trace back down and do it with some strength, especially as we approach this support, I see no reason why we don't trade into this area of the low 500s. We never did come close out that gap. That's funny. But also keep in mind, what do we see on the bigger time frame, bigger scale? This was the trend down, right? This was the sell-off. And then this was the recovery just from Monday with the government opening, well, the news of the government opening again. And then what have we done? We've kind of traded sideways, right? And that's what we did here, was trade sideways. So expect a little bit of sideways trading. I mean, sideways is relative, right? We're within like a 300-point range. So you can get good trades in there, but technically we're trading sideways. We're in a range, right? But I mean, I traded well today. You can trade well too. Up 739 over 8 accounts. So pretty good flipping day if you ask me. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off. I got a lot to do today, but remember, persistence, right? Things happen gradually and patiently. Be consistent and unrelenting. Promises are in place and the door is wide open. Keep that in your mind today and going forward. Anyway. Ouch. What's going on here? We're going lower, in my opinion, here. We might come up a little bit, but we should go lower. And of course, the market says nope. If we break above this previous candle, then I was wrong, and that was just a trap, essentially. It appears so. That drives me the craziest, guys. Like, we had good momentum on NQ and ES to the downside, and right when I said we're going lower, the momentum completely stopped and reversed. So, yeah, that's what will happen. That would have eaten, 30 points. Sheesh. Anyway, I'm going to go. That way I don't overtrade. Have a good day.